Let's check this one out.
Billions of dollars to buy some of the most beloved heroes and stories in entertainment history, and then systematically destroying everything that made them loved in the first place. Yeah, that has basically been a Disney strategy for the past decade or so, and now I guess they're finally starting to see the consequences of their actions, and they are shocked that a large portion of their male audience has completely disappeared. For decades, storytellers like George Lucas and Stan Lee created incredibly impactful empires, stories that were designed by and specifically targeted towards men, stories for men, stories that brought fathers and sons together, masculine characters who were strong, competent, and unapologetically heroic, the kind of men young boys dreamed of becoming. And these were not just movies or comics, they were cultural icons that shaped entire generations. Then Disney bought them, and slowly, methodically, they decided that everything men loved about these stories and characters was problematic. Now, somehow, these same executives are sitting in boardrooms asking, where did all the young men go? Let's just be honest here. If they are being this open about it, it is probably safe to assume they are not just seeing a lack of interest from the Gen Zs. It's clearly men of all ages, but please do correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Before we dive into everything.
Yeah, this is the problem. Men are seeing it. You know, with this whole woke shit. I mean, this is why a lot of men left the church. A lot of men are going right wing. A lot of men are tired of the how honestly the world that women created. Right? I'm sorry, after feminism, this is the world that women have created. Men are tired of it. Men are tired. So men are walking away. Men are tired of how the world women have helped shape. It is tiring.
Today, I just want to be super clear. Of course, women can and do love these stories and characters too. I'm one of them. But today we are talking about why men in particular have walked away from franchises their fathers and grandfathers loved, and why they're not going to come back, not as long as the people in charge fundamentally despise what they represent. Starting with the Variety article, yes, you heard that right, Variety article, that has kicked all of this off. This problem has been festering for years, but Disney is finally admitting the quiet part out loud. They have lost a big portion of their male audience, and now they want to create new IP specifically for them. But that is going to be quite the uphill battle, especially when you take a look at their track record. Let's start with the complete deconstruction, mockery, disrespect, and total assassination of beloved male characters. An easy jumping off point is Luke Skywalker, the literal embodiment of hope, turned into a bitter, disillusioned hermit who abandons his mission. Han Solo, the heart of gold smuggler who became a deadbeat dad and who walked out on his family. Indiana Jones, because I guess Harrison Ford just can't catch a break. Once clever, bold, resourceful, now a bumbling old man getting upstaged by his condescending goddaughter. Thor went from a noble warrior to a complete joke, so much so that Chris Hemsworth actually regrets how he played this role. The Hulk, no longer rage incarnate, but now a green Instagram influencer dabbing and taking selfies. I laugh, but it's actually really sad because over and over we have seen the heroic male archetypes be dismantled and humiliated, with their strength reframed as some type of flaw or their competence as ignorance. But that is only half the story here. Disney didn't stop at just ruining these iconic heroes. They then proceeded to replace them with female leads, brought to life with terrible writing, and supplemented with all the girl boss messaging. Now, our Marvel and Star Wars leads consist of Captain Marvel, who lectures and looks down at everyone, She-Hulk, who sneers.
This is the problem. Like, I get it, right? There are female friends. I understand. There are female fans. I understand. I don't ignore that. But God, the majority of the fans are men. The majority of the fans are men. Okay? It's like, why can't, it's like having, like, I think Black Widow was an amazing character. Women were loving Black Widow. And she was honestly a main character, side character kind of shit. And that was fine. I hate, I mean, like, this is a thing where I said this in another live where bring back fucking like action heroes, bring back entertainment geared towards men. This is the thing. There's plenty of entertainment geared towards women. The Barbie movie made over $1 billion, I think. So really, it's like not like there's not content geared towards women. But why, when content's geared towards men, you have to change it. You have to target it. Why? Why must you make content geared towards men? You have to also gear that content towards women. It's not like someone's like, oh, let me put some guns in the Barbie movie. Let me put some kick-ass fight scenes in a Barbie movie. Let me put some guns in the the Wicked movie. It's like, seriously. I mean, they want quality, yes, quality regardless. But this is the thing, because now they make it a checklist. It has to be a woman, has to be a minority, has to be someone of the LGBT whatever community, right? It's a checklist, and then they care about the story, and then they care about everything else.
At both the audience and the story she's in. Ray, the most bland, boring vanilla character there ever.
But here's the thing where they don't make it good. They don't make it good because their focus is, oh, it has to be a woman. So that's their focus. And then they build everything towards it, right? They build everything around that kind of concept. It has to be a woman. It has to be a minority. It has to be something, right? Something on the checklist. And they build everything around that instead of, you know what? Just make a good story. Just make a good story. And whoever's the lead is the lead.
Was Ironheart monologuing about Tony Stark's privilege, and basically the entire Acolyte cast who spent entire episodes explaining why
I mean, yeah, it's not the Black Widow in the comic book, but that was understandable. It doesn't need to be 100% in the comic books, right? But she was a fine character. She was a good character.
Jedi are problematic. Gee, I wonder why this Star Wars show was canceled. The list goes on, and it is no accident. Disney has been extremely intentional about all of this. It is the result of a modern ideology that says traditional.
She used to, I mean, her first appearance, yeah, she was using her sex appeal. And that was part of it. I thought that was a good part. But I mean, she was still a kick-ass character, right? Great fight scenes, great dialogue, great moments.
Masculine heroes and the values that they represent are inherently wrong and oppressive. And to get even more specific, these changes were not about inclusion or diversity at all. It was about rejection of men, of masculinity, of masculine strength.
And that's the thing, okay? So to include, let's say if you want to push a female character, you want to push a female lead, right? And you build everything around it. But part of that is that, oh, I need to put down men, right? I need to put down men while I'm pushing up women. And that's the thing where you are ignoring quality storytelling. You're ignoring quality storytelling because if it's a female lead, more than likely, right? When you put a female lead, you're trying to also downplay men. You're trying to insult men. You're trying to ignore men. That's part of the so-called female lead storytelling.
Of men being leaders, intelligent, honorable, competitive. Do you remember the Force is Female campaign from Kathleen Kennedy? These creators hate the very things that made men fall in love with these stories in the first place, and you cannot create something meaningful for an audience you despise. Men, and let's be honest, women too, appreciate beauty. That is now seen as shallow. They
exactly. Evil Edison. That's the point where let's say this, right? Terminator, right? Terminator, Alien. They had a female lead, but they didn't purposely and try to make bumbling male side characters. Okay? That's the thing. And that's what I hate. They didn't make the men feel stupid, feel useless, feel inept. Right? That's what I feel like modern day storytelling is that.
Of competition,
Himbos.
where there are actual winners and losers. That's toxic. They want to see characters who earn it.
Oh, I did not. That's why I did not want to watch She-Hulk. Was that when there was so many things bad about She-Hulk.
Technical mastery through struggle. That's boring. What about stories with clear moral conflicts where objective good can triumph over objective evil? Well, that is too simplistic and way too traditional. What about the desire for adventure, to protect the innocent, to honor codes and brotherhood forged through a shared struggle? It's all problematic. It all needs to be fixed. Disney did not update the formula for good. They declared war on it, and then they acted surprised when the audience left. But Disney was not alone. The gaming industry joined in too. Games like Call of Duty needed to be more inclusive and inherently less masculine. The Last of Us Part 2 killed off the father figure of a generation and framed his protective instincts as wrong. Star Wars games stopped being about power fantasies for players and started to feel more like lectures. The Battlefield series has faced many issues, if we're being honest, but Battlefield 5 specifically did.
She's saying all this, right? These are entertainment geared towards men. Why not just make entertainment geared towards women? Just do that. No. You have to take entertainment geared towards men. You have to make it geared towards women. While you're doing that, You have to put down men. It's like, seriously?
Historical accuracy for representation. Ghost of Yote, replacing our beloved Jin Sakai with a...
But I wouldn't say Tony Stark was a misogynist. I would say he was a womanizer, right? The man was a womanizer. I don't think he hate women, but that was part of Tony Stark's charm. Okay, he was unlike Bruce Wayne, who was a fake, a playboy, fake playboy. Tony Stark was a true playboy. He was a womanizer. He loved having sex with any woman he can. Okay, he was the true playboy. He was a womanizer.
You guessed it, female lead. We see the same pattern everywhere, and the results speak for themselves. Star Wars Outlaws greatly underperformed. EA's Battlefield sales took a dive. The Marvels had the worst MCU opening ever. Indiana Jones was a financial flop. Star Wars films have been in a theatrical drought for years. Numerous gaming studios are being shut down, experiencing mass layoffs, or hemorrhaging millions. International markets are rejecting updated content. They told us that it was about inclusion, about making content that everybody could enjoy, but...
He was an alcoholic as well. He wasn't alcoholic. He was an alcoholic playboy, right? He has addictions, money, women, and I don't know. I guess drinking. Yes, people. That's what I'm saying. We have to be correct, okay? Misogynist. He didn't hate women. He loved women. He loved women a lot. But again, he didn't hate women.
Where is everyone now? These companies have left billions on the table because they cared more about sending a message.
The problem with Luke Cage is that I felt he was very one-dimensional. I felt Luke Cage was very it was okay, but Luke Cage it felt bland to me. It really did. It felt bland.
Than respecting their core audience, because this was never about everyone. It was about taking things that were created with a male audience in mind, things that they loved, that they built identities around, and completely destroying them while scorning the very people who made them successful. And when the fans said, "Whoa, wait, what are you doing?" they were told that they weren't needed, that they were toxic, immature, all the S. It's truly a really gross cycle, spending our money to destroy what we love and then demanding we be grateful for.
And that's what I hate. And that is what I hate. I'm tired of so many people thinking that if men want, let's say, action movies, men want male leads, men want like their movies, their entertainment to be their entertainment. It's not misogynistic. It's not hate of women. No, it's like I fucking like my entertainment. Okay, I don't like a female lead and then fucking a bumbling idiotic male sidekick. It's like, seriously, you're gonna push a woman to the forefront, but yet you're gonna shit on men in the back. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's why I do not like female led shit. It's not even about female. It's not even about a woman being the lead of a movie or anything. It's how they go about it. They constantly go about it like that, where, okay, let me push a woman as the lead and then shit on men throughout the movie. It's like
the privilege of participating. And this goes back to what I was saying before about how you do not see this going both ways. I mean, can you imagine if men did this to things that women love? If they took romance novels and said, you know what Pride and Prejudice really needs?
I got it, Omni-Man.
More explosions and less emotional vulnerability. If they decided that The Sims needed more combat mechanics. If they looked at Barbie and said, yeah, this sisterhood and friendship stuff is way too exclusive. Time for some military training. That would be ridiculous, right? And the outrage would be immediate and justified. But somehow it is fine to do stuff like this to franchises and characters that men have built connections around for decades. And like I said at the start, franchises that lots of women already enjoyed. What makes this so sad is this is not just about grown men feeling angry or disappointed. This is about young boys growing up without heroes they can relate to, about fathers who can't share their childhood favorites with their sons, about an entire generation learning that there is something wrong with wanting to be strong men who are protective and heroic. That is not progress. That's a tragedy. But while all of this has been a bit doom and gloom, here is what gives me hope. While Disney and the other major studios were busy alienating their male audience, other creators remembered something important. There is nothing wrong with making things that men love. Top Gun Maverick made no apologies, just a competent, skilled, emotionally grounded man doing what he's great at. 1.5 billion at the box office. John Wick, a man with a code, loyalty.
I love John Wick. I mean, seriously, John Wick is, I think, one of the best movies, the best franchises in the recent, last decade or so. John Wick was nostalgic for me. It brought back old school action movies.
Loss.
I just feel so bad that because he's so old, he said that he's too much in pain. His knees are hurting, his body's hurting. So I get it, right? I feel bad for the man. But man, John Wick is amazing.
Just pure masculine storytelling that treats its protagonist and its audience with respect.
I swear to God, I really do want to get, I do want to get a John Wick gun or some things like because like I've been mulling it over if I should buy a gun or not. But man, getting a John Wick gun that's similar, I would love that.
Warhammer 40,000 makes no apology for being masculine, gritty, gory, and bold, and it fully leans into all of it. And I can safely say this is not a game for me, and you know what? That is a good thing. Helldivers 2 has seen insane success, and it's a game that celebrates brotherhood, sacrifice, and purpose. Now, I have talked about my love of Eastern developers at length at this point, but again, titles like Black Myth Wukong, Stellar Blade, and so many others are fearless about appealing to their audience and also thriving because of it. These creators get something Disney forgot. There is beauty and financial success in making something specifically for your male audience by targeting them directly. I mean, that is just common business sense, right? I mean, it doesn't mean women can't also enjoy it, but men deserve to have entertainment that speaks to the things they like, their nature, their struggles, and their aspirations. If you're trying to win back men, the success formula is not complicated. Respect your core audience. Don't apologize for masculine themes. Create male characters who are leaders and competent and heroic. Have all the beautiful women, and trust that compelling characters and good stories will find broader audiences naturally, as they always have. When you create something with love instead of contempt, audiences feel it. When you celebrate masculinity instead of deconstructing it, men respond. It is not complicated. It just
That's the thing where I hate modern day society. We, instead of, I get it, we don't celebrate masculinity, fine. But at the same token, not celebrating it shouldn't mean that you should be downplaying it or like shitting on it. In today's age, we are shitting on masculinity. We are shitting on being a man. We are shitting on being a man. Okay? Being a man is insulting. Being a man is like the worst thing ever in society right now. In society right now, being a man is the worst thing ever. That is absolutely disgusting in my opinion. Okay? And I see this through entertainment. You see it with politics. You see it with social media. You see it with everything. Okay? It is completely okay to shit on men in every kind of area. And everything in life, it is okay to shit on men. It is okay to insult men. It's okay to belittle men. It's okay to put down men in everything. It is tiring. Shit is tiring. It really is.
requires basic respect. At the end of the day, this is not just about entertainment. This is about the kind of culture we're building for ourselves and future generations. For over a decade, we have been told that masculine interests are somehow selfish or by default exclusionary. And by taking these iconic franchises and doing everything to them that we've talked about today, that is a big reason why men of all ages are walking away. We need more creators who celebrate their male audience, who see masculine virtues as something to highlight, not cure. And we need to understand that for everyone usually means for no one. So Disney asked where the men went. Here's your answer. They went where they felt respected. They went where their preferences weren't treated as problems to solve. They went where having heroic male leads was not something that needed a constant apology. And I think the damage really has been done at this point, but if Disney really wants to try and fix this issue, they're gonna have to eat a big ol' slice of humble pie, because it requires admitting that what they have been doing is wrong. And they're going to have to repeatedly create new content that's actually, good. The roadmap does exist. Other studios and developers are proving that it works. You just have to be willing to respect the men who made your franchise valuable in the first place and start building things for them.
That's crazy, Omni Man. That is sad. I've been shat on in the workplace, and one that was uber DEI. Mm, yeah, that's terrible. Absolutely disgusting. And that's the thing where this is the problem, right? I don't mind promoting women. I don't mind putting women to the forefront. I don't mind putting, let's say, minorities to the forefront. I don't mind putting, let's say, the alphabet people to the forefront. Fine, whatever. But why is it when you put women to the forefront? Why is it when you put minorities to the forefront? Why must you shit on men while you're doing it? It's like, what? It's like just to make the other person bigger, you have to make the other person smaller. Instead of, you know what? Keep the other person where they are and you can push the other person bigger. It's like, why not just do it like that? But what do you guys think?